Good morning! My name is Ayushi and I'm a first-year PhD student in computer science at UConn, and this is a week in my life. So it is Monday today, and it is going to be a very busy Monday for me. I have two big project meetings starting at 1 p.m. and so I want to have something to show or something to talk about in the meeting. So most of my morning is going to be preparing for that meeting, trying to make some code work, trying to read some papers, and afterwards I have the gym. So I'm going to be doing a yoga class today. And then, in general, I have a bunch of work to do for the rest of this week, and so I'm going to try and get as much work done today as possible. So let's see what happens. As usual, I started my day by reading a research paper, which you can see me here annotating on my iPad and making little notes to myself. After I felt I had made enough progress reading the paper, I started typing up some more solid notes for myself, just to reinforce some of the more important parts of the paper which were relevant to my research. I took a short break to go through my planner, checking off things that I completed from last week, and thinking about the tasks I needed to complete this week, spreading them evenly throughout the week for a nice distributed workload. And then I spent the rest of the morning working through various tasks such as coding and looking through research papers for specific diagrams. Around 1 p.m., it was time for me and my lab mates to head to my advisor's office for two back-to-back meetings. The meetings went well, and I spent the rest of the afternoon working on the tasks we discussed during the meetings. Finally, I went to my power yoga class, which was very fast-paced and challenging, which is exactly what I needed after today's super productive day. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Today is also a pretty busy day for me. So I have class in the afternoon, and then right afterwards I have a group project meeting for that class because the end of the semester is approaching and the group project needs to get done. So that's gonna be fun. And then I have, a bunch of work to do, a bunch of assignments and homework, and of course, research. And later on, me and my lab mates are going out for dinner. And then finally, I have astronomy club meeting at night, so that's pretty exciting. So here's to a jam-packed day. I continued reading the same paper as yesterday, and after having slept on it, I think I actually understood more this time. I spent the morning clarifying some questions I had from the paper, as well as some coding from yesterday's meeting, and for the upcoming meeting on Friday. Eventually, it was time to head to my machine learning class where we learned about neural networks. It was an interesting lecture because I'm using neural networks in my research, but it's always good to know the theoretical foundations too. Right after class ended, I quickly had lunch and then headed to a group project meeting for the same class. Our project is due in 3 weeks, and we wanted to make sure we were all on track with our assigned tasks. Once I returned back to my lab, I meant to get some work done, but ended up chatting with my lab mates, which is always usually fun and also sometimes educational. I did end up doing some classwork while continuing to chat with my lab mates, though. Finally, it was time for all of us to head out to dinner. Woohoo! We headed out to Chuck's Steakhouse, which had some really interesting decor, but also very delicious Mexican food. Good morning. It is Wednesday. Today is also another very busy day here at UConn. So I have a meeting first thing today with my advisor, just a weekly catch up. And then I have a deadline at 12 p.m. for my science communication class. I need to make a poster. So I need to finish up that poster, just do the finishing touches. And then, SciComm class at 12. And then I'm going to Boston tomorrow. So I need to get some work done in advance for Friday. So yeah, let's see how much I can get done today. The meeting with my advisor went well. I got some really good direction on my research. I spent the rest of the morning working on finishing my conference-style poster for my science communication class. It took a lot of brainstorming to figure out how to condense my super complex research into accessible language, which can be understood by people from other fields too. I then headed to my science communication class on the other side of campus. It's about a 7-minute walk and lets me soak in some sunshine outdoors. All of us then presented our posters to each other on our laptops. It was such a great time, and I had fun learning about my classmates' research too. On the way back to my lab, I noticed this giant Dunkin' Donuts setup in the middle of campus. It seemed like they were doing some giveaways and games to play, which looked like a lot of fun, but the lines were super long. It was a chilly day and I had a little bit of a headache coming on, so I kind of accidentally made my way to Starbucks. Come on, what's PhD student gonna do? So just as a little pick-me-up, I got a chestnut praline latte, super yum by the way, which actually helped boost my motivation for the rest of the day. I spent the rest of the afternoon coding and working on my tasks for the Friday meeting since I was taking Thursday off to go to Boston. It always helps getting work done in advance so that I don't have to worry about it on my day off. My labmates and I briefly worked on some coding games for fun and then headed to the student union for some dinner, where we promptly got into a debate about whether or not cereal is a soup. What do you think? Finally, I went to improv comedy club with one of my labmates. This was only the second time I went and I had so much fun playing different improv games. Finally, it was the day of my Boston trip. Woohoo! It was about a 2-hour journey to Boston in the rain. Happy Thursday! This morning, I am in Boston. I'm at Harvard here to meet a friend, so I took the chance to, just take the day out, have fun at Harvard. So let's see what adventures I get up to today. We walked around the campus, and even though it was rainy and windy, we had such a blast. I'll be making a full vlog on my Boston trip next, so keep an eye out for more. Eventually, I had to say goodbye to my friend and head back to UConn because I was helping organize an event in the evening about working with multi-generational teams. This was such a super fun event. We had a Kahoot quiz and an auction. Oof, such a busy but wonderful day. Friday! The meeting I was preparing for all this week was at 2 p.m., so I spent most of the morning continuing to work on the code, hoping that I'd get some results to show or talk about. But unfortunately, I hit a lot of coding errors, some of which were on the GPU machine I was working on, which I then decided I'd just ask about in the meeting. Since it was pretty quiet in the lab, I decided to head out for a little walk outside, and I ended up getting lunch from one of the campus cafes. I forgot to record for the rest of the day, but my meeting ended up going pretty well, and I even got some help on my coding issues. Woohoo! It started raining again in the evening, but I realized that I had free student tickets to a classical music concert at UConn's Performing Arts Center. I had such a great time there and enjoyed the wonderful pieces they played. So overall, overall, it was a pretty busy and long week with lots of research and classwork, but also some fun social activities and outings too. Just a typical week in the life, right? Let me know what you want to see in future vlogs. Until next time, bye! Good morning.